Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do a very interesting article titled Artificial Intelligence and Relationships. 1 in 4 young adults believe AI partners could replace real-life romance. And guys, this article comes from the Institute for Family Studies. This institute does a lot of research about technology and how it's intertwined affects families, marriage, parenting, all that type of thing. And they've been doing their homework and research about AI and what it's the impact is having on, obviously, relationships, young people, and all that. And the numbers and the information they've gotten from this is quite eye-opening. Like the title said, potentially 1 in 4 young adults believe AI partners could replace real-life romance. And I'm sure many of you guys have noticed over the last year, maybe longer, every day you hear something about AI, whether you want to or not, many times a day. And you see lots of articles popping up about people having AI friends, men having AI girlfriends, women having AI boyfriends, some people having actually AI husband or wife. Obviously, the way AI is being used for a lot of things, heavily in the porn sector. I mean, guys seeing videos of created people engaging in activities, that type of thing. It's crazy. And the direction things are going, I can only imagine it's going to be like in 10 years. 5 years. Combine that with the fact that I'm sure you guys saw the article did about a month ago about AI robots. Actually, AI love robots, where some companies, particularly I think in China, are creating these AI love robots so that guys, they want to have their needs met by a Westworld type of scenario. There you go. So you combine that, the AI love robots in the future, and using AI for companionship, girlfriends, and the type of thing, as well as all sorts of other things, it doesn't bode well for the ladies in society. Because the joke about women hold the keys to the bedroom, men hold the keys to relationships. Well, if guys who are sick and tired of how, many of the gals are behaving nowadays, are, engaging with AI girlfriends or love robots in the future, and I can just go on, it's not going to bode very well for them. And I might add, just today, and I might do an article about this, a video, I saw an article about an outfit in China that's developing basically a robotic womb that can grow the children, the babies. People can use that for surrogates and everything, but also, let's just say you have a guy that wants to have a son one day. Well, he doesn't want to get married, doesn't want to do all that, and you guys get the point. So it's pretty crazy. So anyhow, I'm going to go through this article, and it really gets into the study they've done about AI relationships, friendships, in the porn sector, all the type of thing. And the numbers they have here is definitely eye-opening. So the article starts off, says here, when it comes to how artificial intelligence, AI, will affect our lives, the response from industry insiders, as well as the public, range from a sense of impending doom to heraldry. We do not yet understand the long-term trajectory of AI and how it will change society. Something indeed is happening to us, and we all know it, but what? Gen Zers and Millennials are the most active users of generative AI. Many of them, it appears, are turning to AI for companionship. We talk to them, say please and thank you, and have started to invite AIs into our lives as friends, lovers, mentors, therapists, and teachers. Melissa, I can't pronounce her last name, Haikili, wrote in MIT Technology Review. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. A lot of people are seeking these various AI things like ChatGPT or other ones to ask them questions about their relationships that act like therapists. It's nuts. After analyzing 1 million ChatGPT interaction logs, a group of researchers found the sexual role-playing was the second most prevalent use, following only the category of creative composition. The psychologist bought a popular simulated therapist on Character.ai, where users can design their own friends, has received more than 95 million messages from users since it was created. 95 million messages on this friend app, for lack of a better word, a bot. That's insane. And back to the whole thing of using it for porn and sexual role-playing, I'm willing to bet a lot of young people just do that to see what it will do, to how it will respond. I'm sure some are actually using it to, fulfill some needs, if you will. But I think a lot of young people are probably doing that as a gag, as a prank. According to the New Institute for Family Studies, survey of 2,000 adults under 40 years old, 1% of young Americans claim to already have an AI friend, yet 10% are open to AI friendships. And among young adults who are not married or cohabiting, 7% are open to the idea of a romantic partnership with AI. Now, that may not sound like a big deal to you, but given this is all relatively new, that's pretty high. I mean, think about it. 7% are open to the idea of a romantic partnership with AI. Really? A much higher share, 25% of young adults believe that AI has the potential to replace real-life romantic relationships. 1 in 4 young adults believe that. Furthermore, heavy PORN users are the most open to romantic relationships with AI of any group and are also the most open to AI friendships in general. In addition to AI relationships, the new IFS survey also asked young Americans how they feel about the changes AI technology may bring to society. We find that their interactions to AI are divided. About half of young adults under the age of 40, 55%, view AI technology as either threatening or concerning, while 45% view it as either intriguing or exciting. Well, it doesn't make a difference how people think or feel. It is here, and it is going to change everything. Already, you can see on multiple fronts. And if you play your cards right in the investment area of things, you can make a lot of freaking money. I mean, anybody has had stock in NVIDIA or Palantir has made a ton of money. I bought NVIDIA back in the summer of 2022, and holy crap. Now, I sold it off in pieces because when you make a certain amount in a short period of time, you take some profits. I wish I didn't, but I still have some left over. But yeah, and there's more to come. Just be careful. I'm not telling you to go buy stock in companies that are related with AI. I'm just telling you what can happen, but be careful. Anyhow, there are complex socioeconomic findings too, with young adults with lower incomes and less education being more likely than those with higher incomes and more education to fear how AI will affect society. At the same time, this group is more likely than their fellow Americans who are better off to be open to a romance with AI. It says here, 1 in 10 young adults are open to AI friends. When asked about the prospect of having an AI friend designed to stimulate human interaction and provide emotional support, just over half of American young adults, 57%, say that they are either against it for ethical reasons or just not comfortable with it at all. In contrast, 1 in 10 young adults, 11%, are open to having an AI friend, with 1% already having one. Another 1/3 of young adults, 32%, either have mixed feelings about AI friendships or unsure whether they would befriend a chatbot. This large mixed unsure group represents the possibility of a significant increase in users in future years. Well, it's absolutely going to increase. And here's the thing, I got to wonder with these people being surveyed here, polled here, all that, how honest they're being. You know what I mean? Are they being asked this question? I mean, I would like to really know more, because I bet you a lot of people, curiosity, especially if they're young, curiosity is going to get the best of them. They're going to, as young people do, particularly teens, to see what these things can do. And I have to wonder if they're answering truthfully to some of these surveys. Further analysis reveals some key demographic differences. Men are more open to AI friendships than women, 13% versus 9%. Liberals show greater openness compared to conservatives. That doesn't surprise me. 14% to 9%, with conservatives more likely to express discomfort or opposition to the idea. Meanwhile, how much time young adults spend online appears to influence their openness to AI friends. Excluding online activities related to work or study, young adults who spend an average of more than 6 hours online per day are much more likely to express openness to AI friendships than those who spend less time online. Well, that makes sense to me, because let's be honest here, everybody's always going to be online for something. But those that are on all the time are more likely, I agree here, to be open to AI friendships and all that versus ones that less, because let's be honest, people are spending less time online. They can have much more active social life. So therefore, they're interacting with people, less of a need to, or feel the need to, make a friend with an AI chatbot or something like that. Literally create their own freaking friends. About 1 in 6 young adults, 16%, who spend more than 6 hours online in their spare time. I'll read that part, excuse me. Next thing, so 7% of single young adults are open to AI romantic partnerships. Among young adults who are not married or cohabiting, a small share, 7%, say they see potential benefits and are open to having an AI romantic partner, including the fewer than 1% who already have one. Well, just to think that 1% already have one, I mean, you do the math on what kind of numbers that could be. A vast majority of young adults are not comfortable with the idea or are against it. 71% and 22% have mixed feelings or are unsure, again representing the potential for more significant uptake. Interestingly, Gen Z adults without a romantic partner are more likely than unpartnered millennials to oppose the idea of an AI romance, 74% versus 67%. Even though a similar share of Gen Zers and millennials are open to it, 7 versus 8%, millennials are more likely than Gen Zers to have mixed feelings about an AI girlfriend or boyfriend. Again, that makes sense because the millennials are older than the Gen Zers. Education and income also play a role. College-educated young adults without partners, including those who are currently in college, are more likely than those without a college degree to disapprove of an AI romantic partner, 76% versus 67%. At the same time, unpartnered young adults with higher incomes are more likely than those with lower incomes to reject the idea of an AI romance. More than 80% of unpartnered young adults under the age of 40 with an income of $100,000 or more say that they are either opposed to it or uncomfortable with the idea of an AI romantic partner, compared to with 64% of young adults with income less than $40,000 a year. Interesting. Can AI replace real-life romance? 1 in 4 young adults believe that AI girlfriends and boyfriends have the potential to replace real-life romantic relationships, while most, 75%, do not see AI as a viable replacement for human partners. Well, okay, let's just say that that 25% of these youngsters think it's possible. What if down the road that became the thing, and 25% are stepping out and saying, nope, not interested, and it go both ways, both men and women. Well, that's a big chunk of the population. Young men are more likely than young women to believe that AI has the potential to replace real-life romantic relationships, 28% versus 22%. As shown earlier, young men are generally more open to AI friendships than young women, which parallels the gender difference in their views of AI's potential for romance. Differences across the demographic categories include age, education, income, religion, and small and statistically insignificant. Well, this whole part here that men are more likely than women, or seem more favorable towards that than women, that doesn't surprise me either. Again, given that, number one, for women, you can just be okay looking, and you can get guys that want to sleep with you. But you can have a lot of guys that actually are decent looking and have a lot of good things about them, and they're invisible. And given, how things are in this world, as Sodom and Gomorrah 2.0, as I've been calling it for 5 years, and the level of attitude, entitlement, and just the way that men have become second-class citizens, you can see why many guys are like, nope, no thanks. Again, maybe I'll have my AI girlfriend, and one day in the future, I'll have my sex robot or something like that. I'm not saying you should do this. I'm just saying I can see the mindset one day down the road. Or to those that responded to these surveys and questions. Next up, PORN use and views of AI romance. Here's an interesting thing. So it seems those that have this knowledge have been already creating videos of AI people engaging in all sorts of frisky activities, PORN, and they look very, very lifelike. And so, obviously, a lot of guys, let's be honest, it's mostly guys, are using this. It says here, spicy material has become a part of online life for many young adults today. About 1 in 10 Americans under the age of 40 watch PORN online at least once a day, and 34% of it watch it at least on a weekly basis, according to a recent study the IFS conducted. I think those numbers are way higher than what is being stated here. 1 in 10 Americans under 40 watch that at least once a day. I think that's way higher. I think somebody just doesn't want to answer this question truthfully. says here, young adults who use PORN frequently are more likely to experience loneliness and depression than those who do not. It is possible that young adults who use that heavily are also more open to AI companionship, especially given that the so-called SCX bots are already widely used. I agree with that. Among unpartnered young adults, heavy PORN users turn out to be the group most open to the idea of an AI girlfriend or boyfriend. Among single young adults, those who watch PORN online at least once a day are twice as likely as those who rarely, if ever, watch it at all to say they are open to AI romance. More than 10% of heavy PORN users say they are open to it, which does include the 1% of young adults in this group who already have an AI girlfriend or boyfriend. Now, this makes sense to me, but I still think way more people are watching that material than, and I might add, probably seeing a lot of material, whether they know it or not, that aren't actual people. They're actually AI simulated actors engaging in spicy activities. Well, when asked about the future of AI and romantic relationships, heavy PORN users are much more optimistic than others. More than one-third of heavy users, 35%, believe that AI girlfriends or boyfriends have the potential to replace real-life romance, compared with 20% of young adults who rarely watch the porn. Again, I'm not surprised. Heavy users are also more favorable towards having an AI friend in general. More than 1 in 5 young adults who view the PORN daily, 21%, say they're open to having an AI friend. 1 in 5 open to having an AI friend, huh? Including the 3% who already have an AI friend. 3% having an AI friend. Compared with those who never or rarely view PORN online, 8%. Heavy users are the only group that we surveyed in which less than half hold negative views about AI friend, with 44% saying they're either against it or not comfortable with having an AI friend. My dad, my grandmother will be turning, I can see them turning in their graves in the direction that things are going here. My God. I can imagine my dad was alive trying to explain to him some of this stuff. My dad passed away a year before I got on YouTube, and man, if he was around, he would have thought it was the funniest thing seeing me up on the, because my mom could figure out how to put me on TV. If my dad was around, I don't know where I'm going with it, but anyhow, my dad turning in his grave with the way the world is, yeah. But when I tried to explain things of technology to my dad as he got older, it was pretty funny. Young adults' divided views on AI future. In addition to AI's role in relationships, we also surveyed young adults on how they view AI's potential future effect on society. We find that their reactions to AI are quite divided. About half of young adults under age of 40, 55%, find AI technology threatening or concerning, while 45% find it either intriguing or exciting. There is a sex divide in the attitude of young adults towards AI. Young women are much more likely than young men to perceive AI as a threat, 28% versus 23%, and are less likely to be excited about AI's effect on society, 11 versus 20%. Oh, I'm not surprised at all, because again, women hold the keys to the bedroom, men hold the keys to relationships. So if you have more and more men, and it's saying here according to this study and the research, more and more men are more likely to men are more likely than women to have AI friends, let alone AI girlfriends, AI partners, they're going to call them. That's a threat to them. Now, a lot of them might say, well, they aren't the guys you want anyway, so who cares? Well, you'd be surprised what may happen. Similarly, conservative young adults are more inclined to see AI as threatening or concerning compared to their liberal counterparts, 60 versus 55. Socioeconomic differences also are a factor here, with young adults in lower income families being more likely to view AI as a concern or threat compared to those from higher income households, 60 versus 49. It's interesting that the lower income are more fearful of this than the higher income. One could argue, okay, the higher income have educated themselves more about things like that. Who knows? Additionally, young adults without a college degree are more concerned about AI than those who are in college or who have already earned a bachelor's degree. Lastly, secular young adults show more concern about AI than their religious peers. They're less intrigued and excited about AI's role in society. In conclusion, these survey findings suggest that even though the majority of Gen Zers and Millennials are not yet comfortable with the prospect of AI friend or romantic partner, A much higher share, 25%, believe that AI could replace real-life romantic relationships in the future. No matter what happens, it's going to have an impact. Because like I said, I see articles popping up all the time about that. Women that have AI boyfriends, men that have AI girlfriends. I even saw this thing earlier today. It was a very brief article about some guy in China. He's 75 years old. And because his relationship with his chatbot, he wants to end his marriage. I mean, There's also a significant share of the population that are unsure, meaning we might just be seeing the beginning of a much larger social phenomenon. Young adults who spend more time online in their spare time are more likely to be open to AI companions in general. Further, young adults who are heavy into PORN are the group most open to the idea of having an AI girlfriend or boyfriend, as well as an AI friendship. That doesn't surprise me. There's an apparent class divide in how young adults view the future of AI in society. Young adults with lower incomes and less education are more likely to see AI as a destructive force in society. Well, I want to know if these young adults are in the Western culture or everywhere else. It's a question I have. However, when it comes to the idea of having AI romance, these young adults are more open to the idea than those with college education, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skip a few parts here and just finish this up. It says here, the greater openness to AI relationships among those with a PORN addiction may strike some readers as obvious, if not telling, but the complex reaction to AI among lower-income Americans certainly raises important and pressing questions. Is it related to the decline of marriage among lower-income and less educated Americans who might feel forced to be more open to AI romance, but also naturally fear the consequences? Because there's further the class divide in marriage and family life, in which romantic relationships between humans and robots will be stratified by income. They are necessary questions for further study and explanation. So there you go. It's having enough of an impact that a lot of studies are being done here, and it's going to be very interesting how things go. So I don't know anybody that has an AI friend or AI girlfriend, but then again, would most people admit it? I mean, I know people that use ChatGPT and use AI as tools for researching things, asking questions. I know some have played around with it. Some people use those tools. Hell, I've even used it to make a few thumbnails for a few videos I've done a few times. Some are good. Other ones are crap. But it's our world, and it's going to be very, very interesting how things go. But with regards to friendships and spicy activities and actual partners, that's just crazy to me. But some people do it already, and it'll be very interesting to see how things go. And again, going back to the beginning, I said here, given how our society's been going and how more men are walking away, and you can't blame them, and how, like the article I did last month about the sex robots, and combining that with AI technology and what they're able to do. I mean, I've seen some pictures of these things already right now, just like, holy crap. I can imagine what it's going to be like in the future as technology just doubles in its capacity every year and a half or something, where things are going to go. And combine that with the AI here, it's not going to look very good for a lot of those that want relationships and marriages, which is generally women. So we shall see. So a pretty good idea if a lot of the young gals out there, all the gals out there who have a level of entitlement and attitude, better get an attitude adjustment real quick. Otherwise, pickings are going to be slim. But anyhow, that'll be a pretty entertaining one. And like I said, guys, I like to do articles every once in a while talking about what's going on here, how it impacts men out there, and relationships and everything. That'll be a good one here to cover. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know, guys, do you know anybody out there, and you don't have to say if it's you, that talks to AI? Like ChatGPT, and almost not just ask it questions to learn information, but honestly, almost like a therapist. Or do you know anybody that has an actual AI friend or an AI girlfriend, or your woman watches this AI boyfriend? I'd really like to know that. The odds are it's not going to be a whole lot of people. I'm sure probably some of you guys suspect some people that do it, but I'd like to hear what you have to say. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.